rulings concerning the nation's leading chemical abortion drug.
Access to the most commonly used method of abortion in the U.S. plunged into uncertainty following conflicting court rulings over the legality of the abortion medication mifepristone that has been widely available for more than 20 years. For now, the drug that the Food and Drug Administration approved in 2000 remains at least immediately available in wake of the separate rulings that were issued just minutes apart by federal judges in Texas and Washington.
This correspondent Lisa Dwyer. Former U.S. Senator Jim Talent says the indictment of former President Trump shows the Manhattan District Attorney has abandoned the legitimate role of a prosecutor. Talent says that Alvin Bragg is incompetent for allowing the statute of limitations to expire on most of the charges. This is SRN News.
WTBN Pinellas Park, WTWD Plant City, WLCC Brandon.
Faith Talk Tampa. Download the Faith Talk Tampa app or listen on TuneIn and Odyssey.
Evangelicals tough it out. Michael Harrington reports.
According to a new study from the Pew Research Center, white evangelical Protestants were the group most likely to keep attending church services in person during the pandemic. The Pew report also finds that older Americans were more likely to attend in person, despite being at greater risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. In fact, evangelicals and the elderly are more religious than other American cohorts by nearly all measures. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
The nationwide battle over transgenderism has come to the University of Wyoming. A lawsuit filed by 7 Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority members challenges the induction of a man living as a woman into their local chapter in Laramie. The suit charges the national sorority and its officials with pressuring the Wyoming chapter to violate sorority rules, including those covering how new members are allowed to become part of the sorority. Women also accused a transgender member of making no effort to present as female. This is SRN News. Tesla's first quarter vehicle sales rose 36% after the company cut prices twice in a bid to stimulate demand.
The electric car, SUV, and heavy truck makers said it delivered nearly 423,000 vehicles worldwide from January to March. That's up from just over 310,000 a year ago. According to FactSet, the increase fell short of analyst estimates of 432,000 for the quarter. Tesla cut prices in early March on its more expensive models by $5,000 to as much as $10,000.
That is correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Legal battle over a dress code for bikini baristas at coffee stands is ending after a city north of Seattle agreed to pay $500,000 to the owner and employees who sued over that law 6 years ago. You'll find more of these stories.
The following program is sponsored by the law offices of Patrick L. Smith. This is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. Get ready with your legal questions and call Patrick now. 877-943-9673. Again, that's 877-943-9673. The law office is open. And now your host, Patrick Smith.
Oh, hi there. This is Attorney Patrick Smith, and welcome to another fresh edition of the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. We will be with you for the next hour. Today is Saturday, April 8th, 2023, and we will be with you the next hour to answer all of your legal questions. Give us a call now, live and local. We have open studio lines. Producer Yumiko here with us today, and Brian, the call screener, standing by to screen your calls, get you live on the air with me. That studio line to call in toll free with your legal question, 877-943-9673, 877-943-9673. So we are live, we are local, we're happy to help any way we can. For those of you new to the program, welcome. I'm Attorney Patrick Smith, local Central Florida estate planning attorney, offices throughout the state of Florida, and we are happy to serve you. And if you'd like to set up a complimentary consultation, we will go ahead and give out the office number here at the top of the show. We haven't done that in a while. So the office line, if you want to schedule your complimentary consultation with yours truly, the number 877-754-6764. That's your toll-free number to reach out to us at the law office to get your complimentary consultation scheduled at the Clearwater office right there on South Highland Avenue, down in Sun City Center. Hello, Vern, down at Sun Radio, or in Sarasota for the Sarasota location. Any of our office locations, one easy number to call to schedule your complimentary consultation. That number, 877-754-6764. 9764. Again, that toll-free number to reach me at the office, 877-754-6764. And you can always go to the website. That's attorneypatricksmith.com. You can submit a request there for an appointment. And that website is also where you can learn more about me and go back and listen to the podcast version of the live Attorney Patrick Smith show. And if you're ever looking to listen via the web, you can always go to the website live during the Saturday morning 8 to 9 o'clock hour and just scroll down to radio and click on the listen live link, and you will get the live feed via the web. So, but to talk to us today with your legal question, 877-943-9673. That's your live and local studio line to give us a call now. 877-943-9673. So give us a call now. And as usual, you can always email your question, Patrick at attorneypatricksmith.com. Patrick at attorneypatricksmith.com, or give us a call, 877-943-9673. And as predicted last week, this is our Trump indictment 2.0 episode of the Attorney Patrick Smith show. So you can guess what we're going to talk about, because now, as you can hear, in my hands are the pages of Mr. Trump's indictment. And we're going to do a deep dive with you today. After doing extensive research, here's the breakdown on where we are with President Trump's indictment. There were 34 separate counts of falsifying business records contained. Now, each one of these counts, normally a misdemeanor under New York state statute. And for the record, go ahead and get the disclaimer out of the way. I'm not a licensed New York attorney. I'm a Florida attorney, but this is a New York case. And so we're going to give you the facts based on New York law. All right. So misdemeanor typically, but these misdemeanors can actually be elevated to felony. So the falsification of business records can become a felony if the falsification of the business record was done with the intent of committing another crime. Now, here's what we know and what we don't know. All right. What we know, the counts of falsifying business records are related to alleged hush money payments to 3 separate individuals. What we don't know, and what the DA, Alvin Bragg, has not revealed, was what was this other crime that was allegedly committed or the target of these falsifying business records. And it goes on to be concerning the fact that if that crime was related to maybe a federal election violation, is it possible, and it's unclear from a legal precedent standpoint, whether or not a federal election violation could be used to elevate state charges from misdemeanor to felony. But all that may be irrelevant, because if you look at New York state statute, falsifying business records have a statute of limitations on it. And it's 2 years for misdemeanors. It's 5 years for felonies. Now, where the crux of this comes down to is the DA may argue that basically that statute should be told if they can show that former President Trump was continuously out of the state of New York during that period the statute ran. And obviously Trump's team will file more than likely a motion to dismiss and claim that, despite the fact that he was a resident of D.C. during that period, or Florida, he made frequent trips to New York State and was therefore not continuously out of the state. So it seems light from an indictment standpoint. And it's one of those things where you're left scratching your head saying, did he not have any parking tickets or anything? I mean, it smacks light for an indictment that everyone was on bated breath for. And I think if you're the Trump legal team, you have to be feeling pretty good at this point, looking at this, because, everyone was talking about this indictment like it's, going to be pretty bad and pretty damning for the president. And I don't think it's that bad of an indictment as indictments go. It seems like this may turn into a bunch of publicity for Trump, which I think that will help him certainly in a presidential campaign. And certainly if he beats these charges, that's a win. So maybe you have a thought on it. 877-943-9673, 877-943-9673. Give us a call now. What are your thoughts on the Trump indictment now that you've had a chance to read it and process it and hear our breakdown? Do you think it was an indictment worthwhile? Was this a good use of New York State resources, or was it something they should have just stepped aside and not even bothered with. What are your thoughts? 877-943-9673. This is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show, and I'm your host, Attorney Patrick Smith. All right, now we're going to go, and I'm sure he's got some opinions on this as well, but to a very special guest, my good friend, Matt Steele. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. It's great to be here, man.
Oh, you're not kidding. That landline sounds great.
Oh, well, I prepared.
You did. So, all right. So for those of you who don't know, this is Matt Steele, host of Truck U, and you guys just finished wrapping shooting. It was season 19, correct, for Truck U?
Yeah, we shot the first 3 episodes of season 19, which is crazy to think that it's been on television this long. It's very, we're all fortunate to be a part of it. It's a wonderful work environment. And that was the first 3 episodes. We'll do 13 this year, plus a couple other specials. So we're cranking along.
And the channel the show's been on, it was at one point, I think, Speed Vision, then Velocity. What channel is it on now?
It's Motor Trend.
Motor Trend
now.
Motor
Trend.
So
yeah, it's been interesting. The world of cable television over the last couple of years has had a lot of changes. So things have shuffled around, and somehow we just keep landing somewhere, which is nice.
So any outstanding memories you want to share over the last 19 years? Anything that really stands out?
The funny thing is Bruno is my co-host, and should have been you, Patrick, but it ended up being Bruno.
And I was going to bring that up. We couldn't find the audition because a lot of people don't know that. I auditioned to be the co-host with you, and I think the reason the audition tapes couldn't be found was it took them, I think, 2 days to put out that fire from my audition.
There was that. They still talk about it. Something about being way too overqualified.
And so here I am doing radio, and there you are doing TV.
Well, it's the way things play out.
But
right?
Bruno Massel does an amazing job, and you were sharing a memory about Bruno?
Well, we talk about the fact that being so far into this, 19 years, we've done so many. We like to make it funny. We like to make it conversational. The best compliment somebody can pay to either one of us is the fact that they go, hey, listen, we watch the show. We don't even really care what you're working on. We like the interaction. We like the fact that you guys kind of bust on each other a little bit. And to me, that's the best thing. And we've tried to do funny things over the years. So there's a lot of memories of just goofy things, going out to the drive range and driving the little tractor to pick up the golf balls and him just drilling me, things like that. So I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Well, and the one thing because you and I have been friends basically the entire time you've been on our boys grew up together, and you're a very dear friend. And so one of the things, I never thought of you as a celebrity. And so you were always just my buddy, Matt. And so when, we're having William, I think his 2nd birthday party, and you and Colton were there, another buddy comes up to me and he goes, hey, what is Matt Steele doing at your house? And that was the first time that it dawned on me that you were a celebrity. I never even thought about it beforehand. And then my favorite story to tell about your celebrity was when actually my mother-in-law had some family in town. And you know the story I'm going to tell.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was in town, and he had Truck U on at my mother-in-law's home there in Claremont. And she happened to see what he was watching, goes, oh, that's my son-in-law's buddy, Matt. He goes, your son-in-law knows Matt Steele. And so she messaged me about it. And I shot you a message saying, hey, we're going to what was then Spiro's. It's since closed down, but we were going to Spiro's that night for dinner. And you were gracious enough to say, you know what? I was thinking about getting some supper. Spiro sounds pretty good. I'll swing by. And when you stopped by just to shake the hand of the Michigander that was a fan, and I saw a grown man cry that day when he got to meet you. And I'll never forget that. But you've always been so gracious, and you're the most, and I mean this with respect, you're the most celebrity that I know, where you're just so laid back and chill and normal. And I think that's one of the things that's made Truck U, you and Bruno, so successful is it's an easy to watch show. It's a show that doesn't make you feel bad about whatever your skill level is when it comes to working on anything automotive.
No, you're right. You're right. We try to do stuff. We try to encourage people to do simple things. It's like, hey, look, you might think that you can't do this, but you probably can. And now there's a YouTube channel for everything. You can go to YouTube University and learn how to do so many things. Now, obviously, if you're going to get into the guts of a transmission or the driveline or something, that can be complicated. You should definitely take that to a professional. But I mean, if you're going to change a bumper, you can probably do it, So, but going back to what you said, it's so funny with that when people come up and they're like, "Oh man, it's nice to meet you," because I don't think of it as anything. I'm just like a dude who's doing a job. And I've had so many, for lack of a better term, not great jobs in the past. And this is a really good one that I just want to keep going forever and ever. That I think, I don't know, I just appreciate everything. Dude, I wake up in the morning, I'm thankful. I wake up every day and I'm just like looking out in the backyard. I'm like, thank you. This is wonderful. Hasn't always been wonderful. Hasn't always even been good, but now it is. So I'm going to appreciate it and try to just keep things going.
Well, and like I said, we've been friends for a long time. And when I turned 40, my wife threw me a surprise birthday party, and you were gracious enough to make time to attend with your lovely girlfriend, Julie. And you and I both children of the 80s and huge wrestling fans. So you remember my birthday involved wrestling, where I got to actually referee the championship match. And I couldn't think of anything better to do with you since you're on the show. And, we're here promoting season 19 of Truck You on Motor Trend. And by the way, when does that premiere? What's the actual premiere date?
What's funny? I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed by that, but I know that it's on the weekends.
But it's going to premiere. We know it's going to premiere. Exactly when. Check your local listings. I guess
probably in 4 to 6 weeks.
So here was you and I both not only enjoy wrestling now, and Brian, the call screener, by the way, huge wrestling fan, but you and I have an affinity for a particular. We have lots of favorites, but there's one wrestler that we probably quote to each other more regularly than any other wrestler, and who's that?
That would probably be the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
And I love the fact that you said his full name. It's not just Ric Flair; it's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So
absolutely.
I thought I would test your Ric Flair quote knowledge. Do you have
one? Please do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say part of the quote. You can finish it. Okay.
Oh,
so
I didn't prepare for this.
I know. That's the exciting part. To be the man, blank.
You've got to beat the man.
That's right. 1 for 1. 1 for 1. So, all right. Next one. If you don't like it,
you better learn to love it.
That's 2 for 2. 2 for 2. All right. Now, this next one's going to be a tough one, okay? I'm warning you.
All right.
Space Mountain may be the oldest ride in the park, but
the longest line.
I am so impressed that you got that. That one would have probably stumped me. So,
oh, man.
All right. And then here's the last one. I'm going to start, and you see if you can finish it, okay? The styling, profiling, blank.
Kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing. Woo! Son of a gun.
That's perfect, buddy. 4 for 4. 4 for 4. All right. So any and by the way, last night we were having dinner with one of my wife's good friends and her husband. And the first question that the husband asked me when the show came up in conversation?
Was it about wrestling?
No, it was, is Bruno going to be on?
Ah, yes. Dude, so that is so funny because, my other company is Trucks Gone Wild. It's been around the same amount of time. We do big off-road events
I've heard
all
of
over.
It. I've heard of it, yes.
Yes, you have. Perhaps too much. But, we do events pretty much Mississippi River East, but we do go out to Saskatchewan, Canada, and we do one in Washington now. And the biggest question is like, where's Bruno? Where's Bruno? And I'm like, I don't know. He's not here. He's probably with his family. Or, Bruno's a professional NHRA drag racer, like multi-time world champion. It's not like a dude that goes racing on the weekends. He is a world champion, multiple-time racer. So, dude is busy.
Yeah, and full disclosure, he was invited to call in and be part of the show. But he is, like you said, very, very busy. Also has a family, and, I'm sure they enjoy seeing him. And so it's a big commitment too. So, but anyway, so before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on the whole Trump indictment thing. What do you think? Waste of time? Good idea? Does he come out better for it? What are your thoughts?
Trump has a way of coming out of everything better. And I think that Trump's got a base, as we know, and the base support. It's very supportive, you know, and I think he comes out of this good. I think it's a waste of time, but I think it's a bit of a witch hunt probably. You know, there's probably better ways that they could spend the time and the money, but they're not going to do that because, hey, you know, they're trying to get the guy on something.
Well,
And like him or not. And that's not me saying, oh, blindly following everything Trump does. That's just me saying, man, that dude does not get left alone.
no.
But he probably likes that. You know, it keeps his name in the headlines, and we know he likes that.
Exactly.
So.
It keeps him in the news cycle. And if it, you know, you notice it was when he first was elected, it was Russia, Russia, Russia. And, you know, there's all, and here's the thing, if you're reading this indictment and you're like, that's really all they've got. Like that was kind of my response is as long as they worked on this indictment and as much as we were, you know, it was touted that it was going to take down Trump, and I'm reading it and I'm like, well, it feels pretty light. And you mentioned that base. I got a feeling that a lot of his base is also a lot of your viewership on the show.
I think there is a fair amount of crossover.
Yeah.
You know where I stand with everything, and I try to not involve that because, you know, I don't watch a lot of television, which is funny because I've been on television for 25 years. But
way to rub it in, man. I mean, you know,
I don't think that anybody cares about how I feel politically. You know, it's so strange when I see people on television or singers or somebody, and they're like, yes, you ought to think this. And I'm like, man, if you weren't on TV or you weren't a talented singer or athlete or something, it's like, what would you be doing? And would anybody care about your opinion? Probably not. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but I try not to just force my stuff, you know, down anybody's throat, so to speak. But
yeah, no, I get it. It's sort of the Aaron Burr approach to politics. You know, always leave them guessing, sort of what you think and where you stand. And you were mentioning, you know, we were talking about your celebrity and getting recognized, and that must be nice. You know what radio guys get? This is what we get when we're out in public. You sound familiar. That's it. That's the pinnacle for radio guys. You sound familiar to me. Okay, great. So yeah, so enjoy your TV celebrity.
You know, another thing that you and I both have an affinity for because we've spoken about it is Publix.
Oh yeah.
And there's a Publix over here in Claremont. There's about 5 of them now. Do you have time for a brief Publix story?
Go ahead, please.
So I'm at Publix over. It's the. I don't know. It's the one where the near all the 55 and up community. What is that?
Oh, the Kings Ridge Publix.
Yeah, the Kings Ridge.
Speaking of Kings Ridge, let me hijack your story for 30 seconds. Kings Ridge seminar coming up this Friday, 10 a.m. Monte Carlo room for all you Kings Ridgers listening who want to attend. Go ahead, buddy. Yeah, the Kings Ridge Publix. Yes.
I totally dropped that in there just so you could tie that all
what
together.
A dovetail. It beautifully fit. Thank you.
That's why I'm on TV. You know. So I go in there. And a gentleman that I see periodically, he's super nice and he watches Truck U and all that. And he's also a big fan of the music group Tool. And apparently the lead guitarist for Tool shops there. Or no, is it Tool? No, it's not Tool. Sorry, names are escaping me this morning.
This is your story. I love how you turn to me for help. Like, I don't know. This is your story.
Oh, it's another one of the, it's not Tool. It's another big band.
Can we
anyway.
let's just say a big band for the sake of the story.
Yeah,
okay.
like a huge stadium level band.
Yeah.
You know? And apparently the guy lives around here somewhere, and he'll tell me, the guy in Publix says, you know what? He goes, I've met you here, and I met this guy here. He goes, I love this Publix. He goes, I never know who I'm going to meet. So it's very entertaining to me. I love it when people come up and say hey and all that. I don't identify at all with the celebrity stuff that you talk about. I'm just a dude who's doing a job that he loves, and I feel very fortunate. And I wish for everyone that they could be in a profession that they loved doing, because what a difference I think what a difference that would make in the entire world.
Well, you know, they say the secret to a happy life, you know, find what you love doing and then find a way to use that to help people. And you and Bruno certainly have done that with Truck U for the last 19 years. And we appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to come on to the show this morning. This is actually, I can't believe this is your first time on the show, but it is. We realized that when we were talking a couple of days ago, and really means a lot. I appreciate it. And good luck with season 19. I know you got a busy Saturday ahead of you, I'm sure. And I'm sure you're after 3 days of shooting, you just kind of want to relax. So season 19, Truck U will premiere some weekend on Motor Trend.
It will. I'm not sure of much, but I'm relatively sure of that.
Well, buddy, we appreciate you, and our best to Bruno and our best to Colton and the family. You guys be well, okay?
Thank you, man. Same to you guys. I appreciate it being on the show. We've only talked about it and finally made it happen.
Hey, see you, buddy. You too. All righty. That was Matt Steele, co-host of Truck U, which will be premiering season 19 on the Motor Trend channel. So make sure you tune in that. Check your local listings. If you have a comment on that conversation or a comment on the Trump indictment, which is our technical theme for the day, 877-943-9673. I was really kind of happy just to hear that Matt was willing to come on and do that, Yumiko, only because I feel like between all the legislation and the model Senate and then the Trump indictment, the show's just been heavy. And something like that, promoting a television show with a good buddy, I feel like, we just needed that breather. And that was the kind of conversation I wanted to have. So make sure you tune in. Season 19, Truck U on Motor Trend, premiering soon. Let's go to a very patient Joanne in Sarasota. Joanne, welcome to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm great, Joanne. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. My husband and I have a trust. We started it in about 2009, and we have placed our personal checking account from a local bank in our trust. We just recently received a letter with the bank telling us that it doesn't know who our grantor is. We are the grantor. We are also the trustee, and we're also the beneficiary. And they want to know, they want that information, who the grantor is. And so they want us to come in and fill out a form. What I want to know is that going to create some kind of a taxable event, or why does the bank need to know this?
So
is this an FDIC thing?
No. So here's the thing. This is going around. And first of all, just Joanne, it's a great question. So I appreciate you calling in because you're not the only one experiencing this. Now, in our conversation, whatever you do, don't say the name of the bank, okay?
Right.
So the short version is this. What it indicates most of the time is there's some missing information at the bank level, whether they initially had it and then lost it, or if they never captured it properly. But grantor information, the grantor, for those of you who are not familiar with trust, grantor or settlor of a trust is the one who creates it. So you are the creator of the trust. And when you filled out internally at the bank, there's something called a trust certificate, and each bank has their own. That's number one, grantor information. Number two, trustee current, and then successor. They shouldn't need to know who the beneficiaries are. That's a little invasive. The only person who needs to know that are the trustees of the trust. And then there will be a line for the name of the trust, and then the line for the tax ID number for the trust, which typical trust that we set up is usually the social security number. Now, without seeing your trust, Joanne, I can't tell you for sure, but more than likely, this is just them going back and correcting some records information. But if you want to bring the paperwork in the trust, if you have an attorney, just go see your attorney. If you don't have an attorney, we'll be happy to sit down with you and review all that to make sure that everything's legitimate and see what exactly they are asking for and what you need to provide to sate their appetite.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your help.
Joanne, any thoughts on the Trump indictment?
I think that he is not guilty, and I think that Bragg's going to fall flat on his face.
Well, I think that, it's one of those situations where it feels like the Trump impeachment all over again, but lighter. And, an impeachment is one thing. Removing from office is another. And so if you impeach a president but don't remove him, doesn't he come out stronger? And so if you try a former president and he doesn't get convicted, it still has that feel like, okay, he's walking out of this even stronger than before. So why did they give that opportunity? If it's not going to win, like hands down, the indictment, it appears, is very beatable. So why would they give him that opportunity? But Joanne, I think you're right. I think this is one of those things where a lot of people are going to say, why was this indictment even brought? And that, of course, goes back to the Manhattan DA on this. Joanne, we appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you, sir. I
All right.
appreciate your time.
Have a great weekend. 877-943-9673. This is Attorney Patrick Smith, and this is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. Already a very, very busy show today. We're discussing all things Trump indictment, and of course, we had our special guest, Matt Steele, on promoting season 19 of Truck U on Motor Trend. But we want to talk to you live today. 877-943-9673. Any legal questions at all are welcome, or maybe you have a comment on the Trump indictment. 877-943-9673. That's your live and local studio line. Give us a call now and be happy to listen to your thought, opinion, or legal question. 877-943-9673. And you can also email me directly. That's Patrick at attorneypatricksmith.com. Patrick at attorneypatricksmith.com. So give us a call now or shoot us an email question, and we'll be happy to give you the very best legal advice that we can. So also an update on the short-term rental controversy in the city of Indian Rocks Beach. We've, of course, been tracking this over the last months. We had the city commission candidates on to discuss it, Senator Nick DeCiglia on to discuss Senate Bill 714, his proposed legislation at the state level. But the local legislation at the city council level has been active, and the Indian Rocks Beach City Council will actually have a meeting to discuss the new city ordinance this Tuesday, April 11th, 6 p.m. at City Hall in Indian Rocks Beach. And unfortunately, I will not be able to attend because I will be at another speaking engagement, our second speaking engagement. We mentioned the first one when Matt was telling his story. That'll be Friday, Kings Ridge at 10 a.m. in the Monte Carlo Room in Claremont, Florida. But Tuesday evening, the reason I can't attend the Indian Rocks Beach City Council meeting discussing the new ordinance on short-term rentals is because yours truly will be at the Villages Shrine Club at 6:45 p.m. Speaking there. It'll be a wonderful, I think this is my fourth or fifth time speaking at the Villages Shrine Club. It's a great group, great event, and I really love any opportunity to speak before the shrine, and looking forward to both those engagements. If you have a club or group that needs a speaker, you can always reach out to me. We don't charge any speakers fees, absolutely free of charge. We make our speaking services available to you. So maybe you have a local neighborhood community, church group, charitable organization, maybe it's a support group. We will be happy to come out and speak to your group on a topic of your choosing, or if you want to use one of our pre-selected topics that we have presentations for, we'll be happy to come out and speak for your organization. So if you want to set that up, reach out to the main office line, 877-754-6764. Again, that's the toll-free office number to schedule an appointment at the Clearwater office, Sarasota office, Sun City Center, any of our office locations. The offices in Claremont as well. 877-754-6764. And you can call that number as well to set up your speaking engagement, to book me, yours truly, as your speaker for your group. 877-754-6764. All right, let's go to Haines City, to my home county of Imperial Polk County, and let's talk to Rose. Rose, welcome to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
Thank you so much for taking my call. I have a simple question, or at least I think it's simple. My dad wants to give his mobile home to his stepdaughter prior to his death. It is listed in his will that she would get it anyway. So my question is there a problem with him doing that, and what would be the ramifications of it?
So if you have provision in a will for the bequest or devise of property that is previously gifted by the testator of that will, the creator of the will, before their death, what it does is it does something called moot the provision regarding that devise. So if he says, you know, my manufactured home goes to this granddaughter, and then prior to his death, he's already gifted it to her, it basically silences that provision because he's already gifted it to her.
Okay, so there's no problem then at all.
I don't think so, but without looking at the documents, you know, I can't tell you for sure. So we have a Haines City office right there in beautiful Haines City. So if you want to meet with us to go over it, we've got attorney Jared Bailey helping us out with the Haines City Winter Haven clients, and you've heard Jared on the show several times. So we'd be happy to give you a complimentary consultation to just review those documents and make sure they're the way that everyone thinks they are.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much for the answer.
Rose, you're welcome. What station are you listening on?
Yeah, WLVF
Landmarks Voice of Faith. Rose, we appreciate you listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All righty, listening to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show, 877-943-9673. You know, that's one thing I love about this show, Yumiko, is the fact that we run the gambit of stations. I mean, you know, there was a call from WLVF Gospel 90.3, and then we've got, of course, AM 860 The Answer. We got 102.5 The Bone. We got Sun Radio down in Sun City Center. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I've agreed with you.
Yeah, so quite the eclectic array of listeners, and I love that. This is one of those shows that can do that, and I love that. So, all right, let's go to Sarasota next, and we're going to talk to John. John, welcome to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call. I have a question about where can I find a trustee? I have a trust, and I am senior citizen. None of my family is really competent to handle something should I become incapacitated. And I'm having trouble finding a trustee.
So do you have a financial advisor? You don't have to say the name or the organization, but do you have a financial advisor you work with, John?
Well, yes and no. And I've asked them, and that hasn't really yielded anything.
Well, you can always pick, you know, it's one of those things. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, where you can always change it in your trust if it's a revocable trust. And presuming it is, you can pick a trustee and then change it down the line. You can also put contingencies in there if, you know, if someone you picked is the best choice, but they may be older than you like. And if they pass, then you got a backup. You can always, you know, so you have a trust in place currently. So that means you have an attorney, correct?
Right.
Reach out to your attorney. See if your attorney's willing to do it. There's rules about that as far as protocol, but
yeah, I wouldn't want him to do it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think it's a matter of just looking around in your, you know, the analysis I take a client through when they're struggling to pick a trustee. I say, start with the nuclear family, those closest to you. Now, once you've ruled all of them out, then you go to sort of the extended family. And then once you've ruled all of them out, you go to the friends and family. The like sort of real periphery family and the very close friends. And that's sort of your typical analysis. And when you're looking for an applicant to this or someone to fill the position, the job description, John, you want to say, who's the person who's going to be best at marshaling the assets, preparing tax returns and liaising with the IRS, paying creditor claims, sending out trust notices, doing a formal accounting, and distributing the funds. That's sort of the job description. So usually someone will come to mind. Now, and it's a bigger struggle after you get the first one to come up with the backups. But I think that's what you start with. Maybe your CPA. I know CPAs get picked on a lot to do this. So I think considering your CPA, a professional trust department, your attorney, I know you said you don't want that, but that's a common selection as well. And then sort of just look around, and if you find any friends who are in similar situations, ask them what they did as far as.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of friends in that situation. They want me to be their trustee.
Well, then turn around and tell them turnabout's fair play, and then you pick them.
Well, they're not able to be my trustee. That's the problem. But there's no organizations, or I mean, I know there's even independent trustees, but
there are tons.
Frankly, they don't have a real good reputation around here.
Well,
either,
there are tons, and you can get copies of their fee schedules, and they will court your business, John. So you have an opportunity.
Oh,
yeah. So you'll have an opportunity there. But I admire how fastidious you're being about it. I think that's wonderful. It's not just making a plan.
I've been through this with other family members, and I've seen all the pitfalls of trust.
Oh, yeah.
They're not quite as good as they're cracked up to be, but then what is? So.
Well, John, I appreciate the question. Good luck with your quest, and call us back once you've made your selection and let us know what you picked. I'm curious to see how this story ends.
Yeah, could I say something about Trump?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, for me personally, just a couple things, because I know I'm not going to change any minds. People aren't going to be confused with any facts. But I think we ought to just let the trial, be the trial before we judge innocence and guilt. I mean, I hear these people, well, he's guilty, well, he's innocent.
I don't think it gets to a trial, though. I think it's probably going to get dismissed on that motion to dismiss when they say the statute of limitations ran. I mean, it clearly did. Even if these were felonies, it was a 5-year statute of limitations, and this was a crime allegedly committed in 2017. Well, that's come and gone, and now they're currently misdemeanors if there's no crime that it supported. So that would be 2 years. I just don't see how they get past the motion to dismiss.
Well, what about the one in Georgia where he clearly was? I mean, come on! If you or I did that, we'd be penalized.
Well, and here's the thing: you haven't heard you haven't heard anything out of Georgia yet, and that's oddly silent.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Me personally, I'm on Trump fatigue. That's where I am.
Well, I think and that's why I kind of even struggled to do 2.0 of the Trump indictment. But I felt like after doing a show last week without the actual indictment, we sort of owed it to the listeners to have a show where we had the actual indictment, the primary data in our hands. But I agree with you. I'm a little politicked out at this point, and it's not even election season yet. So I'm definitely ready to take a break.
Yeah, well, if we could talk about real issues, like why don't we do something about the traffic and mass transit and healthcare?
Well, and here's the thing.
But we argue, we just go on and on with abortion and whatever.
John, I want to tell you something. This will reinvigorate you, okay? This will put a shot in your arm. Did you hear our broadcast from Model Senate from Stetson University?
No, sir.
Okay, so we did that broadcast a couple of weeks back, and I will tell you right now, spending 3 days with these young college students who are portraying model senators, it reinvigorated me because the most common word that I heard throughout the entire 3 days was bipartisan. These young adults had such a spirit of cooperation, and that's because I think they grew up with such a divisive country that this new generation seeks harmony, bipartisanship, and inclusion. And I think that's what the country's ready for, a dose of that. It was invigorating to me to see this new generation not being so antagonistic and confrontational.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of that too.
And I think that's that's what we need right now. So it's coming, and I was buoyed to see that sort of spirit among these college students, and I'm excited to see what the future of the country looks like. I'm not one of those who says, "Oh, it's looking bad." I don't think it's looking bad at all. I'm very excited to see where the country's going to go.
Yeah, don't take me wrong that your show is, about Trump is Trump fatigue. I'm tired of Trump fatigue.
Oh, no, I didn't take it that way at all, John.
Goes, it's just on and on and on. It's all about him, and I'm tired of it.
Well, I agree with you. And it's one of those things where sometimes the best thing you need to do for mental health purposes is just turn off all the news, right?
Yeah, I don't want to go that far.
Well, John, we appreciate you calling in. Enjoy Sarasota, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, have a great day. All right, 877-943-9673 to be part of today's show. I'm your host, Attorney Patrick Smith, and this is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. We are talking all things Trump indictment related, so if you have a thought, comment, call in now, 877-943-9673. John hanging up opens up a studio line if you've been trying to get in. John hanging up did open up a line, so give us a call now, 877-943-9673. All right, let's go to a very patient Robert in Newport Richey. Robert, welcome to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
Yes, good morning, sir. Very nice to hear from you. And here we are talking about Trump again. Well, I'm telling you, he's a big shark and he loves to feed off this. He's just getting bigger and bigger as we speak. Well, okay. But here's the thing. I'm just worried about, was there some kind of collusion with the Never Trumpers? Because the Never Trumpers were back in the wings on stage there for a long, long time. Do you think perhaps they're behind this, our fellow Republicans?
So, no, I thought you were going a different way with this. I thought you were going to say there was some collusion between the Trump camp and the DA's office to get these charges brought, so that it basically keeps the name in the news cycle. I thought that's where you were going with it, and I don't see anything to support that. No, I don't think that's the case. But you're saying that but a degree further from that would be if it was these Republicans backing this, basically from the inside the party. I haven't seen any reports of that, Robert. I mean, do you have any empirical evidence or data to back that up, or is it just a theory?
Well, I'm just looking at experience, Patrick, because the way we see it in the news cycle, I think he was betrayed by his own people, to tell you the truth, because otherwise he'd be in office as we speak. I'm glad he beat Hillary Clinton, but at the same time, he should not be attacking Ron DeSantis. Perhaps there's something burning there in the background.
Well, and what I think that may have legs, Robert. I mean, it's a new point. I hadn't considered that, but I think, Trump is not a party guy. Trump was an outsider, and it's not quite the exact same, but for me, it's Ronald Reagan, and at the risk of, offending a lot of Ronald Reagan fans, there's a similarity there, because Ronald Reagan was kind of an outsider to politics. And then he decided, he was an actor, and then he decided to run for governor after being president of the Screen Actors Guild. So, but ultimately he was embraced by the party. I don't think Trump is ever going to be embraced by the party. I just don't think, I think he's always going to be an outsider, because I think he kind of likes that vision of himself. He likes portraying himself as an outsider and not one of the, DC political elite. He's Trump. And I think he likes to tout that.
Yes, that's very accurate. I agree with you 100%. Well, let's see how far he gets. It's certainly going to be fun next year to watch the presidential debates. Don't you agree?
Well, I think the primary is going to be pure gold. And the question I have is, will Governor DeSantis say, hey, I'm going to run for president and take on Donald Trump in the primary, which that could be damaging for both of them politically? Or is he going to say, I'm going to take this safe route and say, I'm going to honor my commitment to the people of the state of Florida and serve out my term as governor, let Trump do whatever Trump's going to do, and then DeSantis basically just pulls off to the side and then waits another cycle before he runs for president, if that's his goal. But what are your thoughts on that? Which one of those two narratives do you think is most likely to happen, Robert?
Well, I'm all for Florida. He's doing a great job here, and you're probably right. It would be nice if he did pull back, but both men are very, very ambitious, and they just feed off this sort of news cycle.
Yeah.
So,
and I would hate to lose Governor DeSantis as a governor. I mean, he's done a fantastic job for the state.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would love to see the ticket, Ron and Don, but neither of them wants to share the podium at this point.
And it would also be a Florida heavy ticket. So I don't think that would necessarily work, but it would also depend on who they're running against. There's some murmurings about someone maybe running against Joe Biden for the Democratic primary. So we'll have to see what comes of that. But anyway, Robert, some interesting theories. We appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You too. Have a great Saturday and happy Easter weekend.
Yes, happy Easter.
All right, 877-943-9673. This is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. Call in now with your legal questions or your comment on the Trump indictment. 877-943-9673. Again, that office line to reach me at the law office during the week with your questions or to book your complimentary consultation, 877-754-6764. Again, that toll-free number to schedule any of your appointments for Clearwater, Sun City Center, Sarasota, 877-754-6764. All right, let's go to Tampa. Let's talk to Carl. Carl, welcome to the Attorney Patrick Smith Show.
Yeah, I'd like to offer just a small comment. I think your political, your legal analysis of why Trump shouldn't be indicted is a little weak. Just to say that the statute of limitation has expired. That depends on a lot of factors and stuff, as they stated during the news. Trump problem is Trump got bad people around him, and he knows it. Anytime you get a man like Michael Cohen doing bribes and wire transferring it, that's a potential for legal disaster. And even Trump said in the tapes about the bribes, why are you not using cash?
Well,
so I'm going to leave it as that. Thank you.
No, Carl, it's a great point. And, Carl, you didn't have to hang up. Oh, see, I like it when we get calls like that. No, but we did make that point, Carl. We made that exact point, saying that they may say the statute of limitations are told, and it's a situation where if Trump was continuously out of the state, now good luck with that argument. I think that the track record will probably show he was frequently visiting New York State, but that's the battleground for this case on the motion to dismiss. If that gets filed by Trump's legal team, I think it's going to be whether or not the statute of limitations was told, because they are successful in making the argument that President Trump was continuously out of the Empire State. I don't know. Stay tuned. But it just the indictment, it feels weak compared to what it was touted to be, at least in my mind. And Carl, we appreciate your dissenting views. So thank you for calling in with that. 877-943-9673. All right, Carol in Clearwater. Carol, I got about a minute left in the show. Can you do it in 60 seconds?
I can. I want to know, is there anywhere you know that people can send money to help support Trump's legal team?
I do not know.
Not necessarily his run for office, but...
So you want to help Trump with his legal fees?
Yes. That's something I would give money to.
I do not know, but Carol, I assure you, we will do some research on that this week and have an answer on next week's episode for a follow-up for you. Okay?
I will listen for it. Thank
All right.
you.
Carol, have a great
Okay.
Saturday and have a happy Easter weekend,
You
okay?
too. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
I could just hear the ad running for just pennies a day. You too can help a billionaire with his legal fees. And, it's just, I don't know. I did not think we were going to get that call, but what an interesting call. I'm sure we can find an answer for that. So, all right, write this number down. If you want to be part of next week's show, 877-943-9673. That's your toll-free studio line to give us a call live on the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. We'll be back with you live next Saturday, 877-943-9673. If you don't want to wait a whole week to talk to me, call me at the office. You can reach me at the office line, 877-754-6764. Again, that toll-free number to reach any of our office locations to schedule your complimentary consultation, 877-754-6764. Email me directly, patrick@attorneypatricksmith.com, or check out the website, attorneypatricksmith.com. And a very special thank you to our friend Matt Steele for coming on the show to promote season 19 of Truck You, which will premiere on Motor Trend very soon. So stay tuned to your local listings for the exact date and time in your area. Everyone stay safe, God bless, and go Gators, and happy Easter.
The proceeding was sponsored by the law offices of Patrick L. Smith. W282CI Tampa, W271CY Lakeland, W262CP Bayonet Point.
Online at letstalkfaith.com or listen on TuneIn and Odyssey.
Without the events of Good Friday, there would be no Easter Sunday. The stone has been rolled away, and now and forevermore, he is risen. He's alive. He is our salvation. This weekend, we are reminded that Easter is the entire basis of Christianity, the moment of truth, celebrating the resurrection. We are Faith Talk Tampa.
All Pro Dad is